Okay, one thing I forgot to add about episode 2 was it wasn't actually Dad in the final scene. That was CSI couple dressed as Dad, because Terrani is on one account, Dezaras is on another account, Dad is on the same account as Dezaras, and Quentin Bond, who I usually have doubling for Dad, is on Terrani's account. So, you see, there was no way I could have all three of them unless I had someone else double as Dad, or triple as Dad. So yeah, three people I used for Dad, and I've used all three in the first couple of episodes. Just wanted to throw that out there because I forgot to mention it last time. PPI. No one's missold me PPI. I don't know why they do it. I was only supposed to explain this fucking thing about Dad. Anyway, on with the show. Yeah, so sorry about that. As I said, Dad was played by someone else at the end of episode 2. It was something I wanted to touch upon. Yeah, it's one of those little things that I do to make the series work. I had to have a three-man scene, three-person scene with Dad, Terrania, and Des. Couldn't use Quentin Bond or Dad, so I used Couple instead. So yeah, uncredited appearance, extra appearance for Couple there. Episode 3, hello, by the way, Dezaras Prime. I enjoyed doing this one. It was actually the second episode I started on. First episode I actually started on this season was episode 4, which is coming up next. It was fun. It was, had a chance to bring in Dash Tracker, a new hero, and I had a chance to bring back Agent Thomas. Also get to do the investigation from a different angle, and we revealed the killer and he speaks, and it was all good times mostly. We started off, didn't we? Dezaras and Mark and Agent Thomas is there. And clearly Agent Thomas is still investigating Dezaras. I mean, actually the whole no other hotels available actually went outside. There's a hotel right across the road from where I live. And then there's another one. And then Bollocks' base is in a hotel. There are plenty of hotels Agent Thomas could go to. And the invisible walls. Now, I've heard this referenced in some DCUO live streams on Twitch. Follow them if you want. I think it was when they first brought out Zamaron. It was War of the Light Part 2, and they mentioned that there's certain invisible walls in certain areas. You get it in Gotham and Metropolis as well, where you can see beyond where you can actually go. So eventually you'll hit an invisible wall, but you'll see beyond that. So it gives it a broader scope, but you can't actually go everywhere. I figured I'd utilise something similar, make it an in-story thing as well, because it's got invisible walls. Because I can't fucking put walls there, can I? I could put dividers, but you'd still be able to jump over them. So, there's no walls. I think I'm wrong. Grateful for the game. I love my base and the base system. It's just, it was one of those things I had to work around, and I had to, kind of bullshit a bit. So, he's got invisible walls that, explore for a level of security. And I think it shows at this point, once Mike knew Agent Thomas was there, he had things in place, and I think it was explained away. The explanation of it, of the invisible walls. I think I played it across as confident, and but there was also that tone of, how did I know you were going to do that? I knew you were going to do that. So yeah, a little bit of irritation because Mark knows why he's there. And for the record, he did give away a telling costume. But I'm not saying what it is. You can figure that out yourself. Some people already speculated as to the identity of Dash Tracker. His identity will be revealed in Season 3, but, you can keep guessing if you want. As for Dash Tracker himself, I wanted someone he liked. Someone that he could get along with, do the job, do the mission, but, sort of enjoy himself while he's doing it, get a greater sense of accomplishment. Episode 4, his partner, he doesn't like his partner. I mean, yes, I'm right, fine with Terrania, but it's just two guys hanging out, fighting crime as two guys never do. Obviously, revelation and mystery, it was Flow Girl. Which, it's Flow Girl and Terrania. So there was issues there. It was just, I wanted. They still played it pretty straight. He wasn't like acting the goofball or anything in costume, and he was offering solutions and all that stuff. And he played it pretty straight. Dash Tracker, I think, had some funny lines in there. It was fun. I enjoyed doing that, and it kind of shows. It kind of builds on that identity thing, I think, the Dezaras, because he played it completely straight in Metropolis, the Metropolis episode. His next public interaction with someone outside of his family was, apart from Betty, but she figured it out, was Flow Girl in the Reluctant Alliance episode, and he played it probably a bit too straight there. And Foundations, Revelation and Mystery, obviously he was pissed off, but Foundations and this episode, you see him find that balance. It's he takes the job seriously, but it's not like, oh, we can only focus on this. I know that's not my Dezaras voice. But there's some leverage there, there's some leeway, some room for stuff other than the mission. And you might actually see it, you might think in the next episode that he's going to be back to his Dezaras Flow Girl type persona. But I think in a way it will show his maturity, and it'll really show how much he's grown as a hero. What else? It was something else. Sunshock finally revealed properly. Master of Disguise. Figured I'd throw that in there. I did do art at school. A lot of this Michael's backstory is my backstory. I was a bartender for 9 years. I don't know fuck all about exabytes. Get to that in a minute. Remind me. I did do art at school, and for me, it is about facial structure for me. The main thing I struggled with was hands, but it is about facial structure. You've got to get it right. You can't have the eyes up there and the mouth down there and the nose across here. It's I mean, look at my face. You don't have to look at my face, but the jawline is, compared to some other people, compared to my son, I have a modest, my son's only 6, but my jawline, that is, very few people, if I wore a disguise and put on a pair of glasses and a false beard, or a moustache or something, my jawline would still be there. My cheekbones, not sucked in, see, they're not sucked in. My eyebrows are quite distinctive, actually, because they very rarely go above that level. They are, you see some people with eyebrows up there, some with right there, and some down here, and that's pretty much where mine are. So there are very key things that can be used. It might be a bit of a bullshit theory, but I think it's something that works. I mean, he wears glasses in every scene, sunglasses, so you can't really use the eyebrows, but a keen artist strives for accuracy. I know that much. especially a police sketch artist, when a lot's riding on this. This is a serial murder case, so it needs to be spot on. The exabyte thing that I was going to get to. I may have got a few things wrong in terms of what the actual exabytes do. I think I've got the whole red, yellow, blue thing. Obviously, I'll get to the purples and greens and oranges eventually. And if I kind of went a bit classic Doctor Who with this, the first lot, the Hartnell and Troughton eras especially, they'd have scenes where the companion would ask questions, or a companion would ask questions regarding the story, or the scientific elements in the story, and then the Doctor or another companion would answer them and explain it. Oh shit, which one is it? The one where the Ice Warriors are on the moon. Seed of Death? Seed of Doom? One of them. Patrick Troughton story with the Ice Warriors. I like the Ice Warriors. They're in the rocket on the way to the moon. And Jamie is asking all these questions, and Polly, maybe? Victoria? No, Polly was a Hartnell one. Victoria might be Victoria. She was answering the questions. Because back in the day, Doctor Who was educational. Nowadays, it's just, not as educational as it once was. But that was the original purpose of Doctor Who. Family educational show. And I think I might have veered into that territory a bit, because I'm a Doctor Who fan, obviously. With the whole exabyte exposition sort of thing that I was doing. Thomas asked the question, Mike explained it. And one thing I mentioned with Fig was that you don't really see Dezaras or Michael out of the job. Even when he's in his civilian identity, where he was wearing his street clothes, he's still on the job. You don't really see much of him out of it. So, probably because exabytes is his job. I think it's safe to say that along with Dad's promotion, he was able to secure Mike's position, some kind of job, exabyte researcher at Wayne Tech. Mike obviously isn't spewing hot air about the exabyte. He knows what he's talking about, so it kind of makes sense from that perspective. But again, his job outside of being Dezaras is related to being Dezaras, so it's something I do need to explore. I do plan on exploring his personal life a bit more, and also a few things before the shower, the exabyte shower. So plenty to look forward to there. The whole Nick Fury thing. Tom was dressed as Nick Fury. I had to throw that bit in there. The whole I said bitch thing. It's a Turtles in the Sewer reference, which is a Lego video I did. Nick Fury and Iron Man are investigating, looking for the lizard. They meet the Ninja Turtles. Nick Fury says, I said bitch a lot. It's a meta thing. It's like one of those where I throw a reference into one of my other pieces of work. I just had to throw that in there, and I felt like I needed to explain it in case people are wondering, well, what are you saying? I said bitch. Because, if you only watch Dark Saviour and you don't watch the other stuff, then it could be a bit jarring. I think I've covered everything for this episode. Dash. We're due a Figment episode, apparently, at the end of the month, which is about when this will go live, because this will be up on the 28th, I believe. Right before, 30th, Sunday the 30th, mine will go up, this video log will go up, along with episode 4. Bear with me with episode 4. It's, like I say, you'll see Mike in a different kind of attitude, but it's a strange one. It's a fun one. I enjoyed it a lot. My friend enjoyed it, who's already seen it. My son enjoys it. My son really shouldn't. It's kind of veers off into unknown territory as far as this series goes. I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I don't blame you. But that's about it. I'm hard at work on the finale. I'm hoping to have the finale up mid-September. I've got a lot of the stuff recorded. I've got a lot of stuff edited. It's coming along nicely. So, and then in the off season, I've got still Saviour, hopefully a Taylor and Taylor, and a couple of other things, 3 other things actually. So that about does it for this. I've been Dezaras Prime. You shall see me next time on August 30th.